Welcome back to the Asylum. I hope everyone made it another week. I know I survived another week.
The jury's still out on me.
It takes a jury to decide how your week went.
Well, I like to have a jury of my peers to help me decide these things. You call them the voices in my head. I call it the jury.
I was going to say peers.
Or the committee.
I was going to say peers. I know it's not friends.
Yeah,
because I'm the only one in the room.
I have friends.
I have never met them.
Well, it sucks to be you.
Actually, it's great to be me.
Well, I'm not saying that it wouldn't be great to be you.
I mean, I think it's great to be me just because I enjoy being me.
You seem to have a lot of fun.
I do. I try to enjoy pretty much everything I do. I mean, from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, I got to keep it interesting.
That's a good philosophy. I think you should Twitter that. Is that right? People tweet. They Twitter.
Oh, God, you're so far behind on the technology train.
It's not the technology train. Let me tell you what.
Okay, the social media train. How about that?
Yeah, you know what? I see it as a fad.
Really? It's been a long-living fad, let me tell you.
It's a fad.
It's not a fad.
Yeah.
No, that's what old people say. They say, oh, it's a fad, these crazy kids and their dang Twitter or their dang Facebook or their dang... Okay, wait, I can't use MySpace because MySpace was kind of a fad. It died quickly just because it wouldn't adapt to what the people wanted. And what? It wouldn't.
Sometimes I kind of wish we would video cast this so people could see just the looks I give you. Words can't express sometimes the disgust and disdain that I have for some of the shit that comes out of your mouth.
You probably fit in a very large population of people that probably feel that way.
Oh, damn it, I'm part of a group now?
Yeah.
Shit, now I gotta change.
Yeah, you're always going to have to stand in line for something. So, you can stand in my hate line. Matter of fact, send me some hate mail. I'm all good. I don't let that shit get to me. I let it roll off my back.
So I got a hate mail, so I got to go to the post office and stuff.
Well, no. Well, yeah, for an old person, you would.
I got to buy stamps and all that.
The younger generation just sends an email and that's it.
Oh, you know what? You kids and your email.
Right, and you're younger than me. That's the sad thing about this.
I'm an old soul.
You're an old something. I don't know if soul's the correct word here.
Old grumpy son of a bitch.
Old fart. Yeah. Yeah. Well, back in my day, we had to deal playing Pac-Man on an Atari. We didn't have none of this fancy shit you kids got now.
Hey, don't be knocking Pac-Man on Atari.
Well, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying things do evolve. I mean, you just can't. Don't get yourself in a rut where you stop at one thing.
What?
Let yourself grow.
Growing is one thing. Sticking with what works is another.
I'm not saying sticking with work's a bad thing. There's things I do that I could probably upgrade in my life, but I don't.
Because you failed to evolve.
I didn't fail to evolve. I just chose not to go with the newest, best, whatever. I'm happy with what I have. But I don't stop in every aspect of my life on evolving and changing. Kind of like your underwear. I use them on a daily use. You use them on a weekly use. You could evolve up to where you use it once a week.
Wait. You wear underwear?
Yes, I do.
I don't think I've worn underwear since the 8th grade.
And that would explain the permanent streak in the back of your pants.
My pants are streak-free, thank you. Here, I'll show you.
Oh, no, put that shit back on. Ain't nobody wanting to see that. First of all, I don't have a microscope. Second, we don't have tweezers to even hold it still so we can see it in a microscope. So just keep it in your drawers. We're good. I can do this all day.
Next time I show up, I'm coming here without pants.
That'll get the dog excited. He thinks he's getting a Vienna sausage treat.
I'm going to put him under his desk. Break out the peanut butter, baby. I'm having a great night.
You will not defile my dog.
What makes you think I haven't already?
Because he would be happy to see you if he was getting free peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Oh, let him sleep. He's old. Matter of fact, I do kind of envy that dog. He eats, sleeps, shits, sleeps, eats, sleeps, shits, sleeps. Kind of seems like the perfect lifestyle.
You're envious of that.
I am envious of that. Because, like I said, I got to go out and work that, earn that weekly nut. So,
yeah.
What can I do? I think I get my simple pleasures of, small things that I get to do, plus like doing this show. This is one of the pleasures.
Speaking of the show, we got numbers. We got our numbers in, and we actually have listeners from all over this wonderful nation of ours.
Which surprises me.
And I think we should take a minute here and thank these listeners. Whether you listen live or you listen later from the vault, thank you people for listening. We really appreciate it, and we would love you people to come in, sign on to the chat room, chat with us, or go over to our we got one of these shout pages where you could leave
a comment.
Yeah, tell the people how that works.
There's a link on our website. You click it, you leave us a message. It's very simple.
Yeah, if you guys have a topic you want us to talk about, or have an idea, or just something that bugs the shit out of you, let us know.
Yeah. Or you can call into the show at 660-815-4940.
Why don't you put the number into the chat room?
I just read it to you. Why didn't you type it?
I'm not your fucking secretary.
Type, monkey. 660. Oh, you are so slow. I could have done it quicker myself.
Then why haven't you done it?
Because I'm on a microphone talking.
I'm on a microphone talking.
You're doing nothing.
I'm talking on a mic. Well, you're doing nothing.
Where's my computer and where's your computer?
You got one there, you got one there, and you got one there. You're living in the Matrix, man.
I know. I feel like I can rule the world from back here in this little corner.
Okay, let's see here.
660. How slow do I got to say this for you?
I'm waiting for you to get past 660.
815. Type, monkey. 4940. Well, I wasn't too quick for you, was it? I can slow it down. 4940. Did you get that?
I got it. Well, if you had the chats, if you had the website up, you would see that.
Well, I don't have the website up. I just have the chat room because I've got the chat room here. I've got the broadcasting software going here. I've got the recorder going over here. What do you got going over there?
I have a lot of things, and I'm not telling you.
Yeah, like clownandmidgetporn.com.
You got something against clowns and midgets?
No, they're okay when they're in a circus. I just don't want to see them in my porn.
But you know what? Try it before you knock it.
No, I'm going to pass on that. I really don't. Nope. Not even going to think about it because that brings me down to your level.
Down.
And once I'm down, once I'm down to your level, you're going to beat me with experience.
There is no down level, brother. I'm living on another plane, a plane of existence which you can't touch.
Yeah, the plane, boss, the plane.
Oh,
I think that's more of no one wants to touch.
You'd be surprised as to how many people touch it and would like to touch it.
I can't think of anybody.
Now, let's dissect this sentence. I can't think, and just stop there.
Do you really want to play this game with me?
What do we got going on this week, man?
I like the way you changed the subject all of a sudden. Well, I was debating. I was like, maybe we could order a pizza. But then I thought, no, if we're going to order a pizza, I don't want the cops showing up. Because apparently that's a trend now.
Oh, now I know where you're going with this.
You order a pizza, you get the cops. I mean, that's what you call service, really.
Oh.
I would expect if I called Dunkin' Donuts, I would get the cops and they would be bringing my donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts doesn't deliver.
And there's the flaw in everything. Now, see if Dunkin' Donuts would deliver. Better yet, my wife would say if Krispy Kreme delivered.
Krispy Kreme doesn't deliver either.
That's my point. They should. Why can I get a hot pizza but not some fresh hot donuts? You have.
You know what? Maybe you should call these people up and ask.
I should be their public relations person.
You should be public relations for nobody.
Let me show you how to get your donuts to the masses.
Yeah.
I think I would make a great P&R person.
Okay, so what we're talking about here is in Avalon Park, Florida, and we actually have some listeners in Florida, I'm sorry, it's Avon Park, Florida. A woman was being held hostage by her boyfriend, her and her 3 children.
Because that happens a lot.
Oh yeah, you got a lady's got the crazy boyfriend. He has a crazy moment, and this is what happened.
Ladies, you need to find better places to pick up your men.
Yeah, the state penitentiary or.
But we're in love.
Yeah, you're in love as long as he's in jail. So, woman's being held hostage by her crazy boyfriend. She's got 3 kids, and he's having a crazy moment. I don't know if he's threatening her or whatnot, but supposedly he's sitting there talking a bunch of trash to her, sharpening his hunting knife. So, this woman, of course, is freaking out. So what she does, she goes onto her phone and goes to her, I think it's her Pizza Hut app. I guess they have apps for these.
Yes, there's apps for everything. It's okay.
Actually orders one of these small single pizzas, and with it, she types in the note, please call 911.
Okay, wait a minute. So not only was she trying to get help, but she wanted to make sure she got her pizza too. Is that correct? The thinking? Like, help, my boyfriend's crazy, he's got a knife, but I need a pepperoni personal pan if you could.
The way I picture this going down, okay? She's got the crazy boyfriend there in the room, and maybe dialing 911's not an option because she doesn't want to upset the crazy, which is already crazy.
Well, dude, you're in a household with a couple of kids and a girl. Yeah, you're going to be nuts.
Good point. So I guess
I just got a dirty look for that.
She's on her Pizza Hut app and puts a note attached to her pizza order. Now, you got to give it to the people at the local Pizza Hut there in Avon Park, Florida.
Avon calling.
They get this order in on their little Pizza Hut computer machines,
Computer machines. You act like it's this technology that's like from Star Trek or something.
Don't you dare talk about Star Trek. I will shove this mic so far up your ass you'll be begging Scotty to beam your ass up. Okay.
Yeah, whatever. You see the worried look on my face? Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. So you got to give it to the people there at the local Pizza Hut. They get this order, and instead of thinking it's some kind of joke, they actually call 911 for this woman. And of course, the cops show up and have their little, they do their cop thing with the crazy man. You're coming with us. I'm not going nowhere. I don't want to go to jail. No, you're coming with us one way or another. You're coming out of the house. And the guy ends up surrendering and goes on with the cops. But I just found it kind of odd, and I don't know if funny is the right word, but definitely odd that a person, uses their Pizza Hut app to place this pizza order and to have somebody else dial 911 for them. Well, now, I'm not one of these cell phone people, so you might have to help explain this to me. Instead of dialing 911 directly, well, why not? Why would you go through your Pizza Hut app? Why do that?
So, is this going to be a new option through Pizza Hut to where, would you like that carry out, delivery, or domestic violence?
Oh.
Dude, I like my beer like I like my violence, domestic.
Yeah, you know what? You say that now, but the next time you come knocking on my door crying saying your wife beat you up.
Well, that is true. You never know. I think she really beats me up while I'm sleeping because I wake up with these weird, mysterious bruises. I'm pretty sure it's her.
You never know.
I'm going to have to call like the battered shelter for men and get a room and stay there
Do they have
till it's
those?
safe. You know, I don't think they do for men. They have them for women, but I don't think they have them for men. I don't think. First of all, most men that are getting bullied by their wife, they're not going to tell anybody. Are you going to go to your friends and tell them that your old lady's beating the hell out of you? No.
Well, now, living a single life, I've had bragging moments saying, "Hey, dude, check this out. This chick ruined, scratched me all to hell. It was great. It was crazy. It was awesome." But then again, when you've got a black eye,
right. And guess what?
I ran into the door.
And guys aren't like girls. We can't cover it with foundation.
Now, hold on. I think we ought to say something here. We're not trying to justify or make fun of domestic violence. It's a real thing. It happens, and
Did you have an epiphany? Is that was like something that just popped in your head?
I'm not having an epiphany. I'm just saying that domestic violence is something that happens. I don't condone it.
Oh, I'm not saying you condone it, but you understand that I do make fun of everything.
Yeah, I know.
I
you
don't
do make fun of everything.
Although there are a lot of serious things in life that I don't make fun of. Pretty much everything else, though, I'm right there. I make fun of it because
there's people out there that take everything very literally, and I don't want people to think that we think that domestic violence is okay. We don't, or I don't. If you're a battered person in a relationship, please go find help, shelter, whatever.
Is that your PSA for the day?
There's probably another one somewhere coming later.
I know. I mean, I will get a lot of slack for making fun of the things like this. I kind of see it like this. I was told as a child that God's watching at all times, so I figured, why not entertain the big guy? So I've got, I try to be funny, probably when I shouldn't be. I don't think that actual domestic violence is funny, but that's what I do. I just make fun of stuff. So really though, hats off to Pizza Hut because they did handle the situation correctly and they didn't take it as a joke. Because I think if I was working at Pizza Hut, I would have kind of said, "Oh man, we got some crazies tonight," and but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I'd really handle that situation.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is too. I don't know what could really what defines domestic violence. Sharpen your knife and yelling at your wife. I mean, did they say he made threats? I mean, because that's
the way the story reads. He's sitting there. He's got the wife and the kids kind of gathered around, and he's sharpening his knife in front of them, supposedly menacingly.
Menacingly. What defines menacingly?
Well,
I mean, if I'm sharpening my knife, as soon as I get done, bitch, I'm going to stab you with this. That would be, I would consider.
Well, I can only assume that that's along the lines of what was going on.
Wow. That's just a strange thing. Oh, well, I mean, domestic violence, but the fact that she used Pizza Hut as her outreach number, that's very odd. I wonder if we're going to see more of this popping up over time, using these apps to contact people when something happens.
What makes me wonder is, if people are in a situation like this, can they text 911? Is that possible?
I don't think you can text 911, but you can call 911.
Yeah, but when you're in a situation like that, and I don't think she wants the crazy guy or the crazy boyfriend to know that she's calling for help out of fear of what he may do.
All right, well, let me collect my thoughts on this, and let's go to a music break real quick, and then we'll come right back.
Hey, do I have time for a cigarette?
Oh, go smoke your damn cigarette.
Okay.
Looks like you survived your smoke break.
Well, there's a party in the parking lot going on, so I had to go out and socialize.
I know. And here I am sitting there thinking, well, he needs to hurry his ass up and get back in here. So a little, I guess, reprise to our story. Come to find out, this woman was actually in the house for 3 days with this guy. and he wouldn't let him go anywhere.
I don't know if this guy was like a live-in boyfriend, or I don't know if he was just visiting or what. But yeah, I guess they were there for some time.
Well, so apparently she finally talked him into letting her order food for the kids.
Okay, so that was the thing.
That's how she got on the
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, kudos for the woman for having that idea.
Right.
That was great.
And kudos to my wife for filling us in on that part of the story
Absolutely.
that we didn't know.
And add a girl to her. And again, great job from the folks there at the local Pizza Hut.
Yeah, and if anybody has any comments about this, you can call us at 660-815-4940, and we can talk about it.
Indeed.
Does anybody say indeed anymore?
I say indeed. You got a problem with it?
Yeah. It's kind of dated like you.
I'm vintage, thank you.
Vintage. Ain't nobody opening that bottle. That shit done gone rotten.
Oh.
So I see you don't have any plastic water bottles this time, so I think we're good.
No plastic water bottles.
You're not going to spring a leak on me?
No.
That's a plus. I was thinking about bringing a towel tonight and setting it on your desk just in case you had a little accident. But apparently you didn't need it.
No, I'm good.
Yeah? I don't know about good, but... What?
Never mind.
No.
No.
I mean, you got something to say. Say it.
I don't have anything to say. It's just one of those moments where you have a thought in your head and you're thinking about saying it, and then you think twice, and it's just like, no, I keep it to myself.
Your mama taught you well.
You know what? We had this conversation. Some of the crazy things that come out of my mouth deserve a second thought.
Well, and
I thought twice before I spoke.
I think more people need to do that too.
I really agree. I think people need to, think more before they act. Think more before they speak, instead of being so. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I'm not a walking thesaurus.
Oh, that's for sure.
I was looking for you for help, and that was a mistake.
Well, I mean, I'm guilty of this too, because I'll say things that I probably shouldn't, and
not you.
I don't stop and think, ahead of time. My wife always says my mouth will be the death of me, so we'll see. There's sometimes that people do things or they say something, and I have that knee-jerk reaction where I have to say something. I can't let it go. I know you have those feelings too. I mean,
yeah, they make a pill for that.
I don't need a pill. We've discussed
that's
this.
Up for debate.
No, I'm good. No meds.
Again, that's up for debate.
I got my meds right here in this little bottle. That's working for me.
Oh, well, if it works for you, that's great.
So we should call it, what are they going to call it? It's like Shit-Face Saturday?
You know what? We should try that.
Well, I'm kind of working on it right now.
If I known we were going to do this, I mean, I would have brought a bottle of my own.
Well, you know where the fridge is.
Yeah, well, chances are if I start, I'll be sleeping on your floor.
Well, the dog will have company.
Yes, he will.
Okay, you can't stay. That's kind of a ground rule now. Jeff's not allowed to stay at the house because the puppy's not safe. And if he's not safe, then it's not okay, because he's kind of our... I want to call him a guard dog, but he really slacks here lately. I'll come home, unlock the door, walk all the way through the house, put my stuff down, walk in the living room, and then he'll stand up real quick and come running in like, "Hey, look, I'm doing my job." Yeah, he's gotten to the point now. He doesn't even bark when people knock on the door. He's just like, "You gonna get that?" Yeah, but it's all right because he's a great dog. He knows I'm talking about him right now because he keeps looking up at me every time I say dog.
He's giving you a dirty ass look too.
I know. Yes, I'm talking about you, Fuzzy. Is he wagging his tail? No. He is now. So yeah, that's you can't harm my dog, so you can't stay no more.
What do we got? What else we got in the news?
I don't know.
Yeah. You know what? You didn't take notes this week, so
No, I didn't take notes this week because really everything I've read this week just made me want to take a hammer to my own forehead. I mean, the crap that they put up as news, it makes me sick, and I can't stand it.
Yeah, that's a topic for another night. I mean, it disgusts me as well. What the media calls news nowadays is pathetic journalism. That's right, pathetic pseudo journalism. Nobody cares what the Kardashians are doing. Nobody cares what stupid shit that some sports player says or did. No, we don't care about that piddly stuff.
Well, now, granted, we are a talk show, but we are not a news program show. We make fun of more of some of the stuff that's in the news than actually real serious news. We have touched base on a couple of serious things, but I don't want to get to that point where that's what we are, serious people, because I'm far from serious. So, I mean, I don't want someone to think we're trying to relay news as in we want to be your news network, because we're not.
God,
no. We like to make fun of stuff, and these are things that stick out to us, and we just go, really? What were you thinking? So, I mean, that's where it comes from. And some of the stories you just hear, and you're like, hell yeah, that's an awesome story. But I don't want to be known for that. I'd rather be known for my craziness than for my news stories. You know what I
mean? You're already there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I've worked hard. I'm glad my hard work has paid off and it shows. I want everyone to know that I'm crazy, and that's fine. I'm good with it. I think we all have a little crazy in us. You just got to get in touch with it and let it go.
Yeah, you know what? You can stop touching your crazy right now.
But it feels good. I like the crazy. The crazy likes me.
Okay, so get this. You know how we like to, quote unquote, call it as we see it, right?
Sometimes.
Okay, well, I gotta give kudos to the governor of Texas.
Oh, well, yeah. He's got to stand alone on that, isn't he?
Oh, well, here's what's going on, or what was, I don't know if it's still going on or
I'm sure it is, because the U.S. government never backs out of anything.
The Navy SEAL Special Forces, the U.S. military wanted to do training exercises down in Texas.
Jade Helm, yeah.
Okay, exactly. However, the Texas governor did not feel that this was such a great idea. So he sent in his state guard, okay, to watch over these training exercises and make sure that no rights of his citizens would be trampled on. And, some people look at this as paranoia on the part of the governor of Texas. I say kudos to him. This is a man doing his job, ensuring the rights of the people in his state. He sent out the state guard to look over this training exercises, make sure it stayed confined within the area in which the exercise is supposed to take place, and they didn't have soldiers marching up and down the streets of his state. Kudos to him.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. That's first of all, let's before I get into that part of this, let's talk about this whole Jade Helm thing and what it is. The government wants to do this training, this whole training ops thing. It's going to last like 2 months.
2 months?
It's a 2-month program. But you got to think, look at all the soldiers they would have to train through this. You're not going to run them through in a week. I mean, that's not going to happen.
Okay.
You're gonna, and if you Google this, you're going to hear a lot of crazy stories because God knows I read a lot and I heard a lot.
And that's been my problem because I've run across a lot of, I don't want to say conspiracies, but a lot of ideas that sound obscure.
Oh, I'll say it. Bunch of whack jobs.
Well, I'm not going to say they're whack jobs because you've got too many coincidences to say that the people saying what they're saying to call them whack jobs.
Okay, we had a guy that blatantly said the government made a deal with all Walmarts and they built bunkers underneath every Walmart. That's just a little crazy for me.
Well, I personally don't know if there are or aren't bunkers under Walmart or Walmarts.
Have you ever seen a Walmart be built? Because I have. I've seen them put up, especially these new super centers. There's no underground bunker underneath it.
Well, there was an article, or there is an article, that mentions the Walmarts here. Let's see here. Talks about these Walmarts in West Texas that are supposedly closed for 6 months for renovation. And then it goes on to say that supposedly that these Walmarts that are closed for renovation are actually staging areas for FEMA processing camps for political prisoners.
I'm going to call BS on that one. Because you're going to need a place bigger than Walmart.
First of all, to even attempt such a thing in Texas is insanity.
Yeah, let's go to the place that's so Second Amendment.
Yeah.
I mean, literally. Even in Texas, they don't even call it the United States. They call it Texas, and it's 49 bitches. Texas is kind of like its own entity. And when it comes to the Second Amendment, everybody's packing. I mean, that place is such it's like an open range in an old Western. Everyone has a gun. So they picked. Oh yeah, I agree. But they picked the wrong state if they was going to have that in mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really, like I said, I call BS on that because I don't ever see that happening. I know we get a lot of those conspiracy theorists that get out there and they're like, oh yeah, well, martial law is coming. They're going to take over the whole United States. There is no way.
In all of the quote unquote unspoken rules of the United States, you don't mess with Texas is in the top 10.
Well, yeah. I mean that's like common knowledge for anybody. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, kudos to the governor.
Kudos,
and we keep saying kudos tonight. What the hell's up with that?
I don't know.
You know what? My hat's off to the governor.
There you go.
My hat's off to him.
Hats off to the governor.
Hats off,
of
boots
Texas.
on. Because I mean, to stand up to the U.S. government and say, "Not in my backyard, you won't."
Absolutely.
That took some balls. Now, a lot of people see it as a stupid move, and I'm sure there's other governors that are laughing at him. But I think to protect the people of your state, that's what it takes.
Yeah.
And let the government know you won't come in here and pull your BS here. It won't happen. You can do your little training maneuver, but it's going to stay in this area, and it will not affect the people of my state. To me, my hat's off. That guy, that's a great political move on his behalf. Guess who's getting reelected?
Yeah. We're not even in Texas, and I tell you what, if I could, I would vote for this guy again, just for his
tenacity,
for his actions here.
Yeah, I mean, really, all in, balls out. He really showed what he was about. Not most politicians won't do that.
No, too many politicians are worried about being politicians, being politically correct, and
well, they're worried about all the pawns that get grazed.
Yeah.
So
I would say this guy is showing himself to be more of a leader than a politician, and that's the type of people we need.
I think, okay, here goes my little political thing, and I'll try to be as far as I go with it, because again, we always try to stay away from political stuff and our political views. But I know everyone thought change was coming when our current regime came into play. But I really feel that we have a good chance for some really good change coming up in the next election.
You're talking about 2016 election.
Yes.
This 2016 election coming up, I have to say, there are a lot of better options for the voters than what there's been in a very long time.
I usually don't get really excited over the politics because I'm not a big political guy. But there is a candidate out there that I'm super excited about. So I'm really hoping we get the opportunity to have him as a president. Because what really sucks, we always narrow it down to 2 people we're going to vote for president. Okay? Now, when we select Miss America, we choose from 50 people. But for our president, we only choose from 2. So, what do you think, dear? You think something might be a little off?
Well, I've thought for a long time that the party system is flawed.
So is the Electoral College.
Yes. The Electoral College is just wrong, in my opinion. But with the party system, it's very flawed. I mean, you end up with people voting for party when people, or let me say this again, voters need to be voting for the individual that they believe will serve their ideas or their needs versus over a party.
Right. And I agree with that. And I'm really sick of the left wing, right wing. You know what? Sign me up for the common sense wing, because that's where I want to be.
Well, what you're talking about here is labels that media give people's idealism.
Well, I mean, that's where you get your constitutionalists, your libertarians, and...
I mean, we have to label everything. And when you start talking about left wing, right wing, conservative, it's a bunch. All it is a bunch of jibber jabber. And in all this jibber jabber, you lose the idea of common sense.
Right, and you also lose your beliefs. Because now, just because you're part of this one party, you're going to vote for somebody that doesn't have the same belief system as you.
And what ends up happening is you end up trying to pick between the lesser of the 2 evils.
Kinda. But right now, at this point, I don't feel like I'm picking the lesser of the 2 evils. I'm picking the one that I feel is competent and could do the job correctly.
So who are we talking about?
Well, I mean, I don't want to get political over the radio.
Well, you know what? I know.
Okay, you know what?
I know who you're talking about.
Well, you do know who I'm talking about because I'm the one that turned you on to him. And at first, you was a little reluctant.
I was.
But once you hear this man speak and hear what he has to say about our current system and what he would like to see with our new system, where we need to go from this point, it really makes sense to me.
Okay, so to clue you guys in, we are talking about 2016 presidential candidate Ben Carson.
Yes, Dr. Ben Carson.
Yes. Well, yes. He's a retired pediatric
and neurosurgeon. Yes.
I believe he practiced at Johns Hopkins. I mean, the man has a brain on him. I've seen videos of him speak at not only media interviews, but at different conventions and so forth. He's not an excitable man. He doesn't.
No.
He's not the type of person to jump up and down and get very excitable about what he's talking about, but he's very on point. He speaks as if he's thought things through. I mean, he's a breath of fresh air to the political system. He seems more like a human being that knows what he's talking about than he does a politician.
Right. I agree with his logic, and I enjoy the common sense that he puts into what he says. Because, I mean, I really think it resonates better with the American people than anything else that these other politicians are even spewing. And maybe our country doesn't need another politician. Maybe we need someone that understands what we think and what we go through every day. Because here you have a man, he wasn't born into money. Matter of fact, he had a mom that raised him by herself. He went through school and brought himself up out of poverty. And that's what I want. I want someone that understands the struggle. And these silver spoon-fed politicians are clueless when it comes to what you and I deal with on a day-to-day basis. I guarantee you none of them have ever struggled paycheck to paycheck like the rest of us.
Absolutely. I've said for a long time we've had too many politicians in powerful positions where we've needed a leader, and this guy seems like he could be that leader.
And I am 100% positive that everyone listening to us right now would agree that we've all been in the position at one time or another where we had to decide to whether we pay a bill or feed our family. And we've all been there and we've all struggled with that. And this guy knows that. He knows what that feels like. So when he talks, I feel like I'm talking. I feel like I'm actually being represented for once. With all these other guys, no.
And that's another thing. When I've heard Ben Carson speak, it's not like he's trying to give a political speech, like he's preaching to me or something. It's as if he's having a conversation with you. And that
sets well with me.
That sets very well with me.
And it feels good to have someone talking to me and not over me.
Absolutely.
I mean, I would like to think that as part of my government that I'm counted. You know, just like everyone else in here in the world. They want to be counted. Like my voice counts. I matter. And I think we need that right now. Because right now we don't have it. Too many choices are made for us, and then we have to deal with those consequences down the road. Now, while the fat cats in the politics sit up there and they don't deal with those consequences, they don't know what it's like to be me.
Of course not.
So, yeah, like I said, this is why I don't get on a political rant, because I get a little passionate about it, because, you know, I understand what that struggle's like. We've all been there. So it hits home with us. But I'll let it go, because if I keep going, I'll just get more ranty in it.
We could go on for quite a while with politics, and we'd rather not. But I highly suggest our listeners, you know, go onto the internet, go to YouTube or wherever you need to go, but look up Ben Carson,
Dr. Ben Carson.
Dr. Ben Carson. You know, watch a couple of videos, hear what the man has to say, and come to your own conclusion. And when the election comes around for 2016, please take some time, think about it, and vote for the person that you think is going to represent you best.
Well,
not the party.
I think that was well said.
Vote for the person, not the party.
I think that was very well said.
Thank you.
So let's skip over to some music, and we can get all this political nonsense out of our heads and come back with something a little different.
Right on.
Oh, I like those music breaks.
Oh, man, me too.
That is, for me, well, I know you go and do your smoke thing, but for me, that's my chance to jam out.
Well, you know,
and have some fun.
I can't smoke in the studio, which is, you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I get it. We don't smoke in the studio, so I go outside and smoke, and like I said before, there's a party in the parking lot. Literally, there's a party in the parking lot.
I know. I'm having my party in here.
But yeah, good folks. It's a little bit different music out there, but good folks, good times going on out there, and sometimes I get a little diverted.
Right. Well, you know, it happens a lot. So the only thing, what really sucks tonight is I had this song I wanted to play, and I couldn't play it because for some reason the MP3 just would not load. But it's the song "Hey Man, Nice Shot" by Filter.
Oh, a great song.
Yeah, I know, it was great. I really wish we could have heard it. And the reason we wanted to play
Death
this
Night soundtrack, wasn't it?
On which one?
Death Night.
Death Night.
Wasn't it Death Night? That it was like a Tales from the Crypt or something movie.
No.
No.
What you're thinking of is Demon Night.
Demon Night. That's what it was.
And it wasn't on that album, was it?
I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was.
Maybe it was. I don't know.
It was on that soundtrack.
I have to go look it up, and that's just more work than I want to put into it. So, the purpose of this song is after reading about this, what do we decide to call him? Other than an upstanding, patriotic citizen.
Well, he was the police officer.
The police officer.
Okay. What we're talking about is let me pull up my notes here. Down in a little suburb of Dallas, I believe it was, and we're still on Texas.
Texas is popular tonight.
Texas is popular.
I don't
tonight.
think we have any listeners in Texas either. That's what sucks, because I know we got listeners in like Arizona, we got them in Florida, we got listeners in Missouri and Kansas, but no Texas. We got to change that.
Yeah, well, hopefully this show will do just that.
Well, you never know.
So, I believe it's a little town called Garland, Texas.
Garland, Texas, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
They were, I'm not going to say they as in the town, but in this town, little suburb of Dallas, there was I'm not going to call it a free speech assembly, as some would put it, but it was I think it was called the Muhammad Cartoon Festival. Basically, what they were doing.
Sounds legit.
It was a festival for cartoonists to draw cartoons of Muhammad. They're making fun of the Muslim religion. Okay. And I've got several things on this that I think is great and not so great. Okay. Let me go over the story.
Let's go over the story
so
first.
the way the story goes is we've got this Muhammad Cartoon Festival going on, and of course this upsets the Muslim community because these people are, they're drawing caricatures making fun of Muhammad, and granted, it's going to upset the Muslims, and you can't really blame them for being upset. However, a couple of men from, I believe it was Arizona, they were Muslims from Arizona, drove 1,100 miles to this cartoon festival in body armor and armed with assault rifles to shoot the place up. Now, one of the Garland police officers that was on duty, saw these men getting out of their vehicle armed, wearing body armor, approaching this festival, I guess we'll call it. And I guess words were exchanged, how bad guy, good guy things are going. And this officer...
I know how it goes in my head, but go ahead.
Yeah, this officer ends up taking on these two guys with assault rifles and shooting them dead. I mean, we are literally talking about a showdown. And man, you got it. One cop against two guys with assault rifles and body armor. And I don't mean the term cop is disrespectful. I mean, this police officer stood up against these two. That's just... I mean, it's heroic as hell.
And here's how this played out in my head. The officer gets out of the car. He looks at these two. And he probably says something along the line, says, what are you doing? Halt, whatever. I'm sure the banter back was, whatever. And the cop looks at them and says, I'll be your Huckleberry. Say when. I'm telling you, I got this old shootout in my head of this cop taking these two out.
I could really see this. In my head, it plays out similar in my head. Some kind of, OK Corral type showdown type thing going on in Texas, and this officer, he saved untold of many lives, acting the way he did, and really, again, kudos, great job to this officer. I mean, he went in balls to the wall and took care of business. Now, as far as this festival, people have defended this festival, saying that we can do and say whatever we want and insult anybody we want. We're protected under the First Amendment. Yes, I would say you are protected under the First Amendment. However, to make fun of somebody else's religion or their religious beliefs and then say you're protected under the First Amendment, I believe is a cowardly way to use your First Amendment rights. If you have an issue or a problem with someone else's religious beliefs, then use your First Amendment right to speak with these people or speak out and give specifics of what you're angry with or what you have an issue with, not to make fun of their prophet or their deity. Again, I think this Muhammad Cartoon Festival that happened was another example of people not thinking before they act.
Yes and no. Because you know me, the first thing I'm going to jump to is freedom of speech.
Yes. And you know, I don't agree with the Muslim idealism, but in this country, they have the right to their religious beliefs. And I'm not one of these people that believes that every Muslim is a terrorist. I don't believe that. Their idealisms are different from mine, and in this country, they're entitled to that.
I'm not saying all Muslims are bad. I'm just saying, as in freedom of speech, that if you want to voice your opinion on something, it's protected.
Yes.
As for attacking religions or making fun of religions, atheists do it all the time.
Well,
the funny thing is, you never see an atheist attack a Muslim or a Hindu. It's always Christianity. That's the one they want to battle against, and mostly because they know, as a Christian, people aren't going to fight back. We don't retort to violence. So, yeah, for me, I have a hard time being bothered by an issue of attack on religion as much as I do with it's a freedom of speech issue, and they have the right to say that.
I think if they had something to say about the Muslim religion, they should have done it differently. Not poking fun. You don't send your kids to school saying, "Hey, look, little Timmy, it's okay for you to make fun of these people. You're protected under your First Amendment, so you can say and do whatever you want." No, that's not right.
But who's to say you have to draw a line? There should be no line on my freedom of speech.
Well, I tell you what, there should be a line of respect for people in general.
That's just a personal choice. That wouldn't fall under any other thing but that.
Well, I think it's a personal responsibility for people to think about these things.
But then
and think before they act.
You have people like me that don't think before they act.
And see, that's a problem.
Well, I am a problem. I agree with that. But I don't want to feel like I have to walk around glass in front of people either.
Well, I'm not saying you should walk on glass or walk on eggshells. What I'm saying is, before you make that retort or make that comment or make fun of something or someone, take a moment and think about it.
I'm still going to make fun of you, though.
Well, that's fine.
You take it well. I mean, you know. But as for me, okay, and I am guilty of this.
I think everybody is.
I do make fun of the radical Islam nation, and I think part of it is as America, you know, here we are, all the things we believe in, they're against. So why come here? If you hate us this much and you hate this idea of what we are, why come here? Stay where you're at. That's kind of like, it didn't surprise me to hear that these two gunmen come from Arizona. Because it's the only place in America that would closely resemble their homeland. Nothing but sand. So I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I guess I'm not offended by that. What offends me is the fact that these people are going to come here and try to kill us over a cartoon. That's what I think's more idiotic than anything.
Why, I agree. It's for these people to act in retaliation the way they did is unacceptable. However, here in the United States, we have these constitutional rights, these constitutional freedoms, and we want well, a lot of people want to use these constitutional rights and freedoms to shield themselves against the idiotic behavior in which they do. And it just, something about it just doesn't sit well with me.
But that's the whole point of the freedom of speech.
No. Here's the thing.
Things that don't sit well with you, I can still say, as long as I'm not harming you physically or hurting you, then what's the harm?
We need to have, people need to take responsibility and have some kind of, logical sense behind the idiotic things that they want to say and do and criticize, and then use, the First Amendment as a blanket. Look,
right.
it's like this. Here's the thing. You remember the golden rule? You do unto others as you have them
before they do unto you?
Yeah. Yeah, funny. Funny.
I live by that rule. What are you talking about?
Really think about that. And if more people thought about it and tried to live by it, I think we'd all get along a little bit better.
I don't think we'll ever get along because the idealism behind their culture and our culture is so different. In my religion, it does not tell me to kill anybody. It says killing's wrong. In their religion, it's convert or kill. I don't see...
Well, now hold on. Let me stop you right there. Your understanding of their religion.
Okay, radical Islamic terrorists.
I can't say that either one of us has a firm understanding of the Muslim belief system. I'm not going to sit here and claim to be some kind of expert on the topic.
I would like to think I got over a 50% chance of being right on this.
Well, I'm not going to claim to be this expert.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to claim to be an expert on any religion, but just from what I've seen, that's mostly everything in my life. I learn by what I see and what I hear with my own ears. I don't go by what other people think. So, from my point of view, this is how I see them. As a threat. I don't... What am I looking for here? I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying they're all bad. That's not where I want to go with this. I'm sure there's many peaceful Muslims in this country. I have no doubt. But to those that aren't, bring it. We'll stomp you out like any other piece of trash we have.
Well, you could use, I guess you could use, say that violence is one means to an end. But, as we're talking with the First Amendment, I would prefer to see a roundtable discussion. I don't know if that could or would or ever happen, but,
till they get tired of listening to you talk and they just blow the whole building up. That's going to work real well. And do we need to discuss everything we do? Do we need to have a discussion forum for every little thing that happens? I mean, really, grow up. People get over it. It's a part of life. This is a problem that we've been dealing with for a very, very long time. This is not something that's just popped up overnight. So, I mean, does a discussion fix it? Because we can talk till we're blue in the face. Do you think the other side's going to listen? I don't.
Well, you never know until you try.
Now, the peaceful ones, I believe they would listen, and they would probably agree that we shouldn't fight. But unfortunately, it's the nature of the beast. I mean, it's going to happen whether we want it to or not.
Well, what do you people think out there? Let us know. Call in. I believe our number's still posted on the chat page.
It's called a chat room.
For those of you listening at home,
yes, we know. You always tell them, and I think they kind of get some of the things I say. I'm sure they go, "Yeah, he's probably getting flipped off right now."
Yeah. Or visit our shout page. I'm trying to promo this stuff,
it's so
and you're
funny
making
to watch
fun
you
of me.
do this. It's like a train wreck that unfolds in front of me. Okay, on our website, we have a little place where you can click the shout out, and you can send us a message. We also have a chat room where you can chat live with us. Or you can call a phone number, which is 660-815-4940.
And that is a phone number, not lottery numbers, right?
Well, you can try them as lottery numbers, but if you win, I'd really hope you kind of split it with me because I'm the one that gave you the numbers. So,
let us know what you think, people.
Or what you don't think. I mean, I could agree with you on this, but then we'd both be wrong. So, I don't know. That's however you want to take it, really. I know you and I have discussed this before tonight.
Yes.
This is not our first conversation
we've
on
been
this topic.
discussing this all week.
And we've only seen eye to eye on a few key things. I don't think we'll ever fully see eye to eye on the whole story. But, and I guess to sum it all up, as long as you're not hurting anyone, in my book, freedom of speech, say what you want. Now, to me, there is a difference between freedom of speech and vulgarity.
Well, see, and that's the thing. I mean, to the Muslim people, I would say that what was being portrayed at this cartoon festival was vulgar to them, to their religious beliefs. I might even go as far as to say that what was taking place at this festival could have been seen as provocation. I mean,
oh, you hear that? That's America knocking. You're in our country.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so deal with it, because this is what we do.
Exactly.
This is part of the American culture.
Exactly the point.
In American culture,
in America, you have the right to have various religious beliefs.
And in America, we have the right to say what we want. It doesn't matter if you think I shouldn't say it. I still have the right to say it. That's the whole point of it. We don't hinder people's speech because, someone's feelings going to get hurt. No, it just doesn't happen. Now, again, I'm not saying they're right in what they're doing. I agree with you. People should have a little bit of couth and say, maybe I should hold that to myself. But as a constitutionalist myself, I believe they have the right to say it, no matter what.
Well, I agree they have the right to say it, but I still think people need to have some couth, as you put it. Some respect for their fellow human beings, whether you agree with their religious beliefs or not. Have some human respect for people.
Well, but did they have respect by bringing guns to shoot people?
Two guys.
But those are the two guys that wound up dead.
Those are the two guys that... And again...
Even that makes you smile. See, so don't make it look like I'm a bad guy here. Because
hats off to the officer there in Garland, Texas.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, man, nice shot.
Hey, man, nice shot. And hats off to the Garland Police Department.
I'm hoping as you took those shots, you heard a little voice in your head that said double tap. Because really, I mean... when you come to do harm against anyone like that, I believe you should be put down. I don't even hesitate. I know a lot of, these little tree huggers would, don't kill anybody. I'm sorry. If you come to my country and you do harm to my fellow man, we're going to put you down like a dog. And if we don't put you down that day, we'll hunt you down and put you down in the end. So it really doesn't matter. That's just how I feel about it. I mean, I'm not a person to go out and start fights or start, trying to look for trouble. But when there is trouble, we can't run from it either. I mean, someone has to stand up. I mean, how much do we put up with before we say that's enough? Sure, people are making fun of someone's religion. Whatever. It never justifies killing people.
Well, I'm not saying that it does.
No, I'm not saying that I'm not saying at all that you're siding with these two guys.
Yeah, I'm not siding with the guys at all. I found it it was very undignified to the First Amendment to use it to make fun of somebody else's religion publicly. I found that as a disgraceful, cowardly act.
And for me, though, I see it as an opportunity to show these other members of this group, or whatever they are, or terrorists, that, look, we won't stand for it.
Well,
we will take you out. And it's that simple.
I think it could have been done differently and better.
Agree to disagree?
Agree to disagree.
Awesome. Well, let's jam out to some music, and then we'll come right back.
Rock on, brother.
Black Label Society. Oh, that's like one of my favorites. I haven't heard some good Zach in a while.
You never hear him on the radio.
No, you don't hear it on the radio, and I don't understand it. I mean, it's like one of the greatest bands there is out there, and you don't hear it on the radio.
Well, I don't know if I'd go say they're one of the greatest bands out there, but they are a great band.
In my book, it's one of the greatest. It's like in my top 4 or 5, that I really just love more than anything because, dude, I named my son after the singer and guitarist. I mean, really? Yeah. So, I mean, what does that tell you? There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
I have followed that guy's career since he first started with Ozzy when he was 18.
And, he made a great replacement for Randy, but...
Well, let's not say replacement, because no one could really replace Randy Rhoads.
You just took the words right out of my mouth.
I mean, I don't want to down Randy Rhoads.
I don't want to down Zach Wilde either.
I liked Randy Rhoads, and I loved his style of playing. I just enjoy Zach's more. That's just where I'm at on it. But that's like Jimi Hendrix. I'm not a huge Hendrix fan. I don't listen to Hendrix all the time. But what Hendrix did, I mean, he was ahead of his time. Hendrix was. I don't think people understood it because he was so ahead of his time. The guy could play. I mean, that's all there was to it.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
He took the guitar and to say reinvent is incorrect. He took the guitar and invented it to fit him.
Right.
There wasn't many left-handed guitarists or well-known guitarists, professional guitarists at the time. He's a left-handed guitarist, so at the time you'll actually see, him with the right-handed guitar strung upside down, tuned to some awkward key because he very seldomly played in E standard. So he's in God knows how his guitar is tuned. It's just Jimmy tuning and doing phenomenal bends and just crazy things.
And that's kind of why I like some of the music that's coming out now. I know you're an opposite on this.
Well,
what I like about some of this newer music is the fact that they've changed the tunings up. It seemed like there for about a 10 to 15 year span, it was either standard or drop D.
Yeah.
And that's all we heard. And now I see these guys tuning in C standard. I'm seeing a lot of E flats. I mean, they're changing it up. They're wanting to make it sound different.
I think Clapton played in minor a lot.
But we had a span there that they didn't change it up. We had the same sound over and over and over. So, I mean, I'm really digging some of this newer music that's coming out. I'm into it. Okay, what are you giggling at?
Oh, I'm just sitting here cruising through the stories, right? And I found a headline that says, "Man shot by South Carolina deputy says he should have dropped a gun." You think?
Duh.
Hit your little bell for that one.
I'm thinking, it's too late. Maybe that epiphany should have came to you beforehand. Oh, man. Well, yeah, I mean, cop shows up, pulls his gun. Should I hold it? Should I drop it? I'm really indecisive on this. I don't know. What do I want to do? Oh, too late. I'm shot.
Yeah, how long do you debate this?
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, once I see the boys in blue, I'm dropping my gun. I don't want to take a bullet. So,
yeah.
Nothing?
Well, I mean, I have comments for this. But I'm trying to think before I speak. I mean, I can understand with everything in the media nowadays, and especially anything involving any police department, I can understand why people might think twice about dropping their guns. I mean, you have people dying in police custody. You got people being brutalized by police. You got all these horrible, nasty things going on. But one thing we have to remember is this isn't the norm. There are a lot of hardworking, honest police officers out there that just want to do their job and go home at night. You know, they're just like the rest of us. And now, as deplorable as I find the acts of these big stories that you see in the media, you know, you got the stuff in Ferguson, you got the stuff in Baltimore, and, you know, other stories throughout the nation, and, you know, I guess you even go further and say throughout the world. You can't see these stories as the majority of police officers. I don't believe that. But
no, I would agree with that. I think what happens is we judge too often. So if one person does it, they all do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well, if this officer would shoot a person that you didn't deserve it, I mean, that might be the other. The rest of them are trigger happy. So
one thing we have to keep in mind is these are the people that protect you while you sleep. You know, when you dial 911, who do you think you're calling? You're calling these police to come and help you.
I don't dial 911.
Well, you know,
the sign on my front door even says so as you come in. I am 911 in this house. So,
well, given the part of the country where we live, anybody trying to do a break-in, entering would have to be insane. I mean, that's a suicide attempt.
Well, right, you're in redneck Tory out here.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, we shoot first.
Yeah, we're all armed, so it really doesn't matter.
You want to try and mug us at the grocery store, we'll shoot you.
Yeah,
Grandma will shoot you because Grandma's packing.
You know the funny thing about where we live, to us it's normal, but because we see people walking around with guns on their hips all the time.
Yeah.
Ordinary citizens. Now, in larger cities, you may not see that as much. But out here, it's normal for us. You know, when I see a guy with a gun on his hip, I don't freak out. I'm not worried about it. I'm thinking, hell yeah, if some shit goes down, I got someone that's got my back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, if you know, in my case, you know, you're wearing your gun on your hip, you walk into the local convenience store to get a pack of smokes or whatever. Maybe it's late at night. The convenience store person sitting there, could you stick around for a minute because this other strange dude just walked in. And you know what? You're glad to do it. You're a part of this community.
Oh, agreed.
You know, I think, you know, carrying a firearm is part of your civic duty. Of course, now where we live in the kind of community to where, you know, everybody knows the officers. We know the fire department. We know these people on a first name basis. And to Paul, stop fucking shitting your pants. I tried to go the whole show without saying the word fuck once, but my God, you're over there shitting your pants, and I'm downwind from you. You got the air conditioner right there. So when you shit your pants, guess what? It fucking blows over here to me. Stop it.
I'm blaming that on the dog.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a dog. It was you over there with the bubble ass. Oh my God, we had a discussion. No spicy foods, no burritos, no chili, nothing like that before show night. But no, I don't know what the hell you ate.
Are you going to consider this like a breach of agreement?
This is your second time you've done it. I think you do it on purpose.
Oh, yeah. You know, I sit there and think, yeah, Jeff's coming by. I'm going to load up on beans today just to see what happens.
I had a good thing going. I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I had a great...
You just couldn't hold it no more. You finally just buzzed.
I'm sitting here trying to have a conversation with these wonderful listeners of ours. And I think I went the whole show without saying the fuck word once. Until you sit over there and you shit your pants. And I can't freaking breathe and read these stories off.
So you're saying you gave in to peer pressure.
No, I didn't give in to peer pressure. I gave in to pure frustration.
Frustration?
Yeah, whatever.
Is that a new word? Frustration and flustration.
Some days I just want to bend you over and stick your own head up your ass.
Been there, done that. Nice place.
God!
Nice place to visit. Oh, now you're just like carrying it on to act.
No, it's blown over here.
Dude, that was like 2 or 3 minutes ago. You already got the gist of it. It's good. You act like we're in a tin can and there's no air coming in.
We're gonna find your ass an air freshener.
Oh yes, all right. It's all me.
So if any of you
what if it's your upper lip just blowing back up your nostril?
If any of you listeners out there know of any kind of anal air freshener, please let us know in the comments page, the shout page, or on the chat page. Because I gotta tell you, my eyes are watering sitting here.
Yeah. I'm not even finding you funny right now.
It's not funny. We need to get hazmat up in here. Call the guys in the yellow suits.
They would come in, but they don't want to put up with it either.
I'm surprised there's not a green fog floating around over there.
Or, you know what? I'm going to blame it on the beer.
We'll blame it on the beer.
That's where it come from. So, are you done with your story? I mean,
I completely forgot where I was at.
It's because you're too busy focusing.
Too busy focusing on trying to breathe.
I'll get you a gas mask. Is that okay? No?
Maybe not just a gas mask. I want a respirator with a can of air.
Now you're pushing it. Your wish list has just grown too far for me.
It doesn't have to be a huge can of air.
I'll get you one of those little office cans of air. How's that work?
How about maybe get a case? Remember the movie Spaceballs?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Remember President Scrooge? He had that little stash in his office drawer of air.
Oh, you want cans of air?
That's what I'm talking about.
Now you might need it. I mean, if you plan on surviving through this. Because guess what? There's next week. Now that you just made a big to-do about this, dude, I swear I'm going to eat chili for like 3 days. I'm going to eat pickled eggs, drink a bunch of beer, and I'm like just going to pour it on.
You want to do this?
Yeah, bring it.
You want to do this?
I can bring the thunder.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll bring a change of pants.
You are not allowed to shit your drawers.
You can't stop me.
I got a couple empty bottles here that says I can plug it. Yeah. Now what?
I think this just got a little too visual for our listeners.
You took it here. I'm just following up.
Drunken sodomy by beer bottle. I'm sure there's a law against that somewhere.
I wouldn't consider it drunken sodomy.
Non-consensual.
Maybe buzzing sodomy. No, I wouldn't even consider the non-essential. Now I can't even say it. Non-consensual. You got me flustered. So you just gonna sit there and read your screen now? Or are you done?
Well,
I mean, did you check out? Is that what this is?
No, I haven't checked out. We've discussed your nasty ass and
I think if you ask the listeners, they didn't hear anything. I never once passed gas because they would have heard it.
Oh no, but you did.
No, I think you're lying.
Not a liar.
I think you made the whole thing up.
No.
This was just your way to get some cheap entertainment on the radio.
If I want a cheap entertainment, there's plenty of porn sites on the internet, and yes, I know about these things. I'm internet knowledgeable.
No, you are porn knowledgeable. There's a difference.
That too.
I wouldn't say you were probably well, your social media. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of the word because you've thrown me off with your whole little rant. Exactly what you've done.
Oh hell!
You lack social skills and social media skills. You're just working along real nice, aren't you?
Hey, the people in my head think so.
Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm going to call this, and we're going to be done. I'm going to play a couple songs to let these people jam out to before we go off the air, if that's good with you.
Yeah, that's good with me. Once again, guys, visit us on Facebook. I think we're on the Twitter as well. Come stop by warpedinternetradio.com.
Yeah, and tune in every Saturday night at 9 o'clock, and you can hear great conversations like this one about flatulence. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to hear that?
Well, it's better for hearing it from us than your drunk Uncle Gregory, I guess.
Oh, I'm leaving now.